79 years ago today, something happened in Roswell, New Mexico, that the government told us was nothing. But nearly 8 decades later, the world still has not stopped asking the same question. What really happened that day, and did anything really fall from the sky? And now, on the anniversary of Roswell, new reports are coming out claiming that President Donald Trump has a speech prepared. Is it true? Is it another rumor? Is it another distraction? Or are we walking into the setup of the biggest disclosure moment in modern history? Because if the nations of the world suddenly unite around the message that we are not alone, everything changes. The question is not just what they will reveal. The question is, why are they revealing it now? We need to talk about it. Let's go.
You're watching The Big Picture.
All right, let's get right into this. Today, of course, if you're watching this live or on the day of, it is Wednesday, July the 8th, 2026, which is the 79th anniversary of the famed Roswell, New Mexico incident, where there was a crash. Most of you know this, supposed crash, alleged UFO crash and retrieval, not only of the vessel, but also retrieval, the rumor has always been, of bodies, non-human biologics, okay, in the words of David Grush. Well, I want to show you a couple of things. I want to remind you of a couple of things. One of the things that Sandy and I have been saying here on this program for a while now is that we were told that this was several months ago, that there was going to be something happen on July 8th. And of course, we were not the only ones saying that. There are people all over the internet was saying that would be the perfect time if there's going to be anything happen in 2026. Do it on the anniversary of Roswell. It's after the 250th birthday celebration of our country, and get through all of that. And then lo and behold, boom, now all the world is talking about that we're not alone. I've said it before. I still stick to this. I believe Donald Trump will be the disclosure president. If there's going to be a disclosure president, prime minister, king, or whatever that's going to get out in front of it, I think it's going to be Donald Trump, because I don't think he's going to let somebody else do that. But I want you to know that I've always heard, and multiple people have said outside of the big picture for a while now, that something big was supposedly going to happen on July 8th. And then, of course, something, I put it in air quotes, happened to push up the release of the videos that were supposed to happen in July to May. And, of course, we all remember everything that's happened since May. And of course, now there's been, at the time of this recording, 3 different releases of videos. Who knows if there's going to be another bombshell video released and dropped today, sometime today on the anniversary. Who knows? Wouldn't it be something if there was a drop of an actual video or picture of the real Roswell event? You know, of course, if you've seen the movie Disclosure Day, there is a scene there where they, of course, supposedly reenacted the black and white video of the Roswell event. It's in the movie. But the Daily Mail is reporting today. Let's go straight to it. And then I want to remind you of something that the president's daughter-in-law said about him as well in relation to UFO disclosure. But this is out today, July 8th, 2026. The Daily Mail is reporting, Trump's inner circle have shown me the real UFO disclosure. The president has an imminent speech written and ready. What he'll explain about non-human life will make it all make sense. So let's read this together. President Donald Trump allegedly has a speech, quote, written and ready, that could finally provide the world with the truth about UFOs. Mark Christopher Lee, who correctly predicted several aspects of Trump's UFO disclosure plans in the Daily Mail earlier this year, now claims the president has prepared a speech that would amount to an historic, quote, soft disclosure of extraterrestrial life. White House officials have told the Daily Mail that no speech discussing the topic has been planned. However, Lee revealed that multiple sources believe the speech not only exists, but may have been moved up to take place during the NATO summit in Turkey on July 8th, which is the anniversary of the Roswell UFO incident in 1947, though he is less confident about the exact timing of the speech. This is his quote. People I've spoken to in Washington have told me that a speech on the topic has been prepared and is ready to go. Whether it happens tomorrow, meaning today, or in the coming days, it appears imminent. The alleged draft of the speech is said to mention UFO incidents over the last 80 years, including Roswell, the U.S. Navy's encounter with the craft that they called the Tic Tac, that we all know about in 2004, and multiple UFOs spotted by fighter jets along the East Coast in 2015. These incidents have been in the public for years now, but Lee says Trump will go a step further and confirm these incidences are believed to have involved craft and beings of, quote, non-human origin. So Lee is saying that he believes the president of the United States is going to go further and say there might be something out there. He is predicting that the president of the United States is going to say of non-human origin. He also is expected to reveal that forensic testing done on entities found in crashed UFOs proves these beings were not from Earth. Can you imagine if the president of the United States actually says those words? Quote, the text claims Trump would explain past secrecy, announce declassification steps, a new interagency task force. This one really jumped out at me. And international cooperation. I want to read that again. He would announce declassification steps, a new interagency task force, and international cooperation, meaning this would be a speech that would have global implications. While stating this is, quote, not a threat, but an opportunity to unite humanity. How interesting that this was the narrative of the movie Disclosure Day. This is the narrative of Dr. Stephen Greer and all of those that follow his belief of these entities. And this is alleged, but Lee, the person that's making these claims, let's look at this again. The filmmaker says, this is what's going to be in the speech. This is what he's been told is in the speech. Not only that we are not alone, but that he will explain why it's had to be secret, why we have kept it a secret, and basically, let's tell it like it is, lied to the American people for 80 years. And will announce a brand new interagency task force. You know what that means? That means all, just like what he did with executive order on AI, that all the different entities, all the lettered agencies of Washington would all be working together in this major announcement of UFO disclosure. International cooperation, meaning there would be, I mean, if you want international cooperation, you want to be the man. NATO is the place to do it on the anniversary of Roswell, right? We shall see. But here's the thing that jumped out at me. All while stating this is not a threat, but an opportunity to unite humanity. That's the narrative, that they are benevolent, they are loving, and that they are full of empathy and they care for us. All right, so let's continue. Trump has expressed support for increased transparency and disclosure regarding UFOs, though his personal interests in the subject are historically been described as skeptical or limited. He said, am I a believer? No, I probably can't say I am. But I have met with people who are serious people who say they are really strange things that have been flying around there. He said that to Logan Paul on his podcast last year. Now, Trump's own daughter-in-law, and I'm going to show you the video of that to remind you of that in just a moment, said multiple times that she had been led to believe that a speech had been written and was ready for the public to hear. Lee said one of his sources was, ding, 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 ding. We all know this name. Most of us know this name, Robert Bigelow, an American businessman and billionaire known for his work in real estate, hotels, and space technology, as well as his strong personal interest in UFOs and government transparency. Lee has alleged that Bigelow, a major donor to Trump's 2024 election campaign, has taken credit for convincing the president to prepare this speech. According to a report in Rolling Stone, Bigelow reportedly met with Trump cabinet member Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in December, when the discussion quickly pivoted from health and homelessness to, quote, the matter of UFOs and paranormal activity. The Daily Mail has reached out to Bigelow to comment. Another source was U.S. television producer David Broadwell, credited with working on the series Beyond Skinwalker Ranch, which investigates paranormal and UFO-related phenomena. Broadwell told the Daily Mail that his sources in Washington were all talking about this speech. So Broadwell told the Daily Mail that his sources in Washington, quote, were all talking about this speech, this alleged speech that has already been prepared. And he chose to disclose this information to several researchers who investigate UFOs. Let us continue. To this point, the U.S. government has maintained that no physical evidence of UFOs or alien life has ever been found to have visited Earth. Despite that stance, Trump publicly criticized former President Obama for allegedly revealing classified information when he just simply said, aliens are real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept at Area 51. Well, if it just sounds like right there, that was the revelation. I think we all thought that. Why would it be classified if there's nothing to it? Just days after Obama's comments in February, Trump issued an historic order at the Pentagon to disclose any and all information on UFO encounters and investigations into alien life. Since then, 3 tranches of files have been released by the U.S. Department of War on a newly created website, war.gov/, is that right? war.gov/aliens, UFOs? I can't remember what it was. It's already been viewed for over 1 billion times since May 8th. Files, of course, we know contains videos, audio recordings, thousands of pictures. However, none of the declassified files have been called the smoking gun or proof that definitively shows that aliens exist and have visited Earth in a genuine interstellar craft. Lee, who produced and starred in the short film called July 8th, The Day Everything Changes, ? Not the day everything changed, but the day everything changes. Believes the historic speech is imminent in order to beat out several hostile nations. This is the most important part of the article right here. Believes the historic speech is imminent in order to beat out several hostile nations. The U.S. is allegedly in a, listen to the wording here, quote, UFO Cold War, end quote, with battling over technology and reverse engineered breakthroughs from crashed spacecraft. That's what I've said all along, is that the whole world knows whatever the truth is. The whole world knows. I mean, the truth is, that's a word that's probably not good to be used here because they'll never tell us the full truth. But whatever narrative they're wanting to spin, the whole world wants to say it, but they're afraid to say it because they don't want to be the one to go out. But I think Donald Trump is going to say, look, this is imminent, that somebody's going to do it, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to make sure I get out in front, and I'm going to have my face out there as the disclosure president. Lee said that July 8th, quote, could be the perfect platform to frame UFOs and aliens as a common threat to NATO members and steal the ground on Russia and China. Now, is that not counter to what we just read earlier? That supposedly the speech is going to say that this is not a threat, that, we need to talk about, unifying around it. But he's going on to say that Trump may justify doing this on foreign soil versus U.S. soil because he's gathered with all the world leaders there at NATO, the NATO members, and stop Russia and China. Of course, this is pictures from the spin when July 8th, it was reported that there was a saucer recovered, and then the next day they came out that it was actually a weather balloon, and this is him holding up the weather balloon. This is Major Jesse Marshall recovering debris from the 1974 Roswell crash in New Mexico. He said the debris could not melt or heat up and could not be punctured. This is the article from the Roswell Daily. Many of you have seen that article. Captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region. The local paper's front page story reported that Roswell Army Field recovered a flying saucer on a New Mexico ranch after metallic-looking light but strong material was scattered across the land. Of course, this is the press conference on the steps of the Capitol that we covered earlier with David Grush and Eric Burleson, Anna Paulina Luna, Tim Burchett, and several others. Now, Lee's predictions given to the Daily Mail in January have been spot on to this point. The filmmaker accurately claimed that public disclosure would begin this year with UFO files rolling out from the Pentagon starting in May. That, he may have been the source of, what we were told. We didn't know what the source was. We were told that it was going to be July and then it was going to sped up to May. This also brought a renewed level of scrutiny from Capitol Hill, as Lee predicted. Members of the House Oversight Committee have continued to press the Trump administration for full disclosure, including a major news event on June 9th. This is it right there, on June 9th. Lee did claim that he has been misled and used by insiders, who claim full alien disclosure would come sooner and then stop returning his calls after he went public with the information about Trump's speech. However, the filmmaker has stood by the main belief that that there is a speech and it is imminent. If Trump were to confirm that Roswell incident was real, listen to this, it would validate recent claims that there has been an 80-year cover-up within the U.S. government and possibly throughout the world to keep the knowledge of alien life secret. And if you've seen the movie Disclosure Day, there's a huge moment where one of the main characters screams that out in frustration, that the lies have got to stop. The 80-year lies got to stop. Roswell became the most famous UFO case, forming the foundation of modern extraterrestrial lore. According to the U.S. military announcement on July 8, 1947, soldiers from Roswell, New Mexico, recovered the wreckage of a flying disc on a ranch near Roswell. The story quickly made national headlines. However, the military changed the story the next day, saying it was just a weather balloon. Many people still believe it was an actual alien spacecraft, and the alien bodies were recovered from that crash as well. In recent years, whistleblowers have come forth, as we all know about. Now, I want to remind you that not long ago, Laura Trump, who is the daughter-in-law of President Donald Trump, was in her studio, and I think that she was interviewed by someone, and she actually said this on her own show on Fox News, but then she was interviewed, which was the one I'm going to show you, and she responds to the question that this is a topic that has been discussed in the Trump home since the first Trump administration, and then she also alludes to this speech that we keep hearing about that is already there. So let's watch this.
He's about to make an announcement about UFOs because President Obama was just on a podcast talking about how he believes in UFOs and hinting that he saw something when he was president.
Well, I said this in my podcast too. What's funny is we've kind of asked my father-in-law about this because we're like, well, what do you know? Because Miranda, we all want to know about the UFOs, or we all want to know what's going on. And he played a little coy with us. And so that, of course, led us to believe, Eric and I were like, oh my gosh, if he won't even fully tell us, maybe there's more to it. And then I have just heard kind of around that, I think he's actually said, I think my father-in-law's actually said it, that there is some speech that he has that I guess at the right time, and I don't know when the right time is, he's going to break out and talk about, and it has to do with maybe some sort of extraterrestrial life, so to speak.
What do you think about that? I don't know if she was supposed to say what she said, but she said, I think I even heard my father-in-law say this. You don't know if she means, she's heard rumors that he said that in the White House. To me, it looked like she was saying around their house, in their family, that he's said to them. That's what I'm alleging, the potential of what that is. But ladies and gentlemen, today is July 8th, the 79th anniversary of Roswell, the incident that created the whole entire UFO interest in the world. And of course, everything just escalated since then. And the rumors are that is when, we know that there are people saying that there were sightings way back before then, but that was just sort of like the fuel that ignited the UFO fire. But, the people started making the argument, and this article that we just read made the argument that, hey, if you're going to do it at NATO. And spin it as this is a NATO issue that we all need to come around here. It's alleging that he's going to say something like, if he does this speech while he's there, is, hey, all you guys know about this. We haven't been able to talk about it. But if there's anything that we need to do is to unite NATO to understand that NATO was created because of Russia and the Soviet Union. But now we have a potential threat or a potential issue because of reverse engineering technology and military weapons that have been formed by Russia now and by China, who are the bad guys now. We just need to go ahead and come on out and just say, look, we have these kind of weapons, and we got that technology from these beings. They got their technology from these beings, and expose it before they get ready to use it. It's almost like this article is implying, and this is just my opinion here, this article is implying that, maybe the argument is going to be, look, we need to talk about this because you need to know what kind of weapons are actually out there that could be used. And we need to be able to openly talk about what we have and what we're developing and where we got that technology. Oh, and by the way, we're not alone. Oh, and by the way, we've got bodies. And oh, by the way, we've got some that are alive. And some people believe that they're going to say, and oh, by the way, we work with them every day. And, we signed an agreement with them, with Eisenhower. President Eisenhower signed an agreement with them that we'd work together. Oh, and by the way, and oh, by the way, and oh, by the way, while we're talking about it, and by the way, oh, but here's the thing. They're good people. They're good beings, people, whatever you want to call them. If they wanted to take us out, they would have already taken us out, and they didn't. So let's all unite. We can all agree to disagree on a lot of other things, and we can still hate each other on politics and on the economy and all these kind of things. But y'all, we got a chance to unite. Well, look, you know where I'm going to go. I'm going to always go right back to this, the Word of God. The Bible says, when they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction come upon them as travail upon a woman. So, yeah, there's coming a beast system. There's got to be a worldwide unifying event that is going to cause sworn enemies to unite for some reason. People have said that it's going to be, and we've seen it done in movies, it's going to be a meteor, it's going to be an asteroid, and the whole world is going to say, that all that matters is that, we appreciate life now, so let's all come together. Maybe it's World War III, maybe it's a nuclear event, maybe it's alien disclosure. I don't know. What's your thoughts? Do you think at the NATO summit, do you think President Donald Trump is even on his radar? But I just want you to picture this as we get ready to check out right here. I just want you to picture, just get this image in your mind. Can you imagine if this happened? So you got the war going on in Iran. You got, all the things in the chaos of the world. You still got the Russia-Ukrainian war going on. You got the economy situation that's going on. And President Donald Trump in Turkey, in the Middle East, steps to the platform and says, oh, by the way, I know that we're here to talk about NATO, but I consider this to be a NATO issue as well. And I thought no better day and no better place to do it when I'm surrounded by my friends of NATO, that I talk about another potential threat, Russia and China, and why I want to talk about Russia and China and why we need to be concerned about this and why this body needs to be concerned about it is because they have weapons that you don't even know about, and so do we, and we can't hide it any longer. And today is the anniversary of the Roswell event. So I want to go ahead and tell you the truth about Roswell. And I want to tell you that we are not alone and that blah, 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 all that we've talked about. And now we need to unite, because if we don't unite, remember the words of Dr. Stephen Greer, which I do not subscribe to his theory whatsoever. Not endorsing him, but he's saying, hey, they're here to help us. They're here to stop us from turning on ourselves. If they wanted to destroy us, they could have already destroyed us. These are our friends. These are our elder brothers. These are the ones that seeded us. They were here longer than us, basically without him saying the words. I haven't heard him say these words, but when you say they're here longer than us and that they are our protectors, I think we all know where that's going, that maybe they are our creators or had something to do with being our creator, which I do not believe that whatsoever. And quite frankly, that is why I wrote the book, The Final Flood. You can see over my shoulder, #1 bestseller on Amazon. God is blessing it, and that's because of you. It's because you have went out there and got it, but you're equipping yourself for this moment. I cover this multiple times. I went back and looked over it. I think it's 4 or 5 different places in the book I talk about alien disclosure and what that's going to mean to the believer and why we should not be surprised when it happens. I basically believe that it's in the Bible, and that certainly alludes to, it speaks boldly to the deception that's going to go on globally, that the beast system is going to rise out of. But I also believe that there, some pretty strong evidence to speak exactly to this moment that we're in. And that's why I encourage you to get a copy of it. You can scan the QR code, go to my website, or you can go to just directly thefinalflood.com, and it will take you directly to the Amazon site. You can get it. It's available on paperback, Kindle, and now audiobook as well. Many of you love to listen to an audiobook, and it's just really doing well. God is blessing it. So I'm so thankful for all those that have purchased it and have given us a good review there on Amazon. That's amazing. Give us a 5-star review. Come on. I appreciate it. God is blessing it. So I love you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that there's any possibility that President Donald Trump today will make an announcement? Oh, and by the way, if you stayed this long, you're going to be glad you did. Tonight at 7 p.m. Central, tonight on July 8th, the 79th anniversary of Roswell, we have the OG, baby, the one that's been talking about this forever, L.A. Marzulli. Is going to be here with me tonight to talk all things Roswell. And who knows, we may be talking about a speech that President Donald Trump gave as well. Either way, we're going to break it down. What does Roswell really mean to us now? What did it mean then? And we're going to talk about what it means to the believer. Or does it mean anything to us? And why we should even know about it and care about it. See you next time on The Big Picture. We always want to remind you, we ain't woke. We certainly are awake. God bless.
Help us build the Big Picture family. We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. Go to LarryRagland.com to give a one-time gift or become a monthly partner. Any amount blesses the entire Big Picture family. While you're there, pick up our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect on social media, and get on the Big Picture mailing list at LarryRagland.com. Join us and be a part of the Big Picture family, where we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.